Hello, everyone, and welcome to the BoldChess Show. I'm your host, Roland, and with me, the international master, Luis Midardi. How are you doing, Luis?
I'm doing very well. I'm, as usual, very happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to record a great video with this third part of the tactical course.
Amazing. We're very happy to have you with us in this third part of the course. Again, for our viewers, this is the Chess Tactics Crash Course Part 3. If you haven't watched Part 1 and 2 yet, please go onto YouTube and watch the first two parts. We have a playlist as well that showcase all the three parts together. In this crash course, we covered over the past two parts all sorts of chess tactical motifs, from pins, skewers, forks, discovered attacks, overloaded pieces, and much more. In this video, also we'll touch over topics like attacking the defenders, removing the defenders, and also another important tactical motif, which is called the X-ray attack, which is basically when the pieces attack through the opposing color piece. Master Luis will show us all these elements and much more. We will solve 20 exercises like the first two parts. In every exercise, we will highlight the tactical motif that is in play, and we will see how either white or black can win the game because of these tactics. Having said that, let's get started. Very well, here we have our first exercise for Master Luis. In this video, Luis will show us how to solve these exercises, and he will explain the elements behind every single exercise. So the first one, we have an almost equal position, but white has a nice tactic here. What do you think, Luis, would be the best move here?
Well, I think this is mate in two. We always had to... Well, I mean, it's much easier because it's a puzzle. In a game, even a strong player might miss it, but if we try to always calculate check and captures, as I always say to my students, one of the first moves, or almost the first move we have to calculate, is queen takes f7 check. And after king takes f7, bishop takes e6 would be checkmate. So yeah, that's it, basically. After bishop takes e6, both bishops work together very well with the help of the knight controlling the f6 square, and yeah, black has no move. So that's checkmate. As usual, candidate moves, checks, captures, and well, threats, but in this case, just a couple of checks and the king is dead. If black couldn't have taken the rook, it would be checkmate on the next move also. So yeah, this is completely winning for white after queen takes f7.
True. That's a very nice tactic. The player has always to calculate these squares to see if they can actually remove the defender. In this case, the defender is this pawn, and this is the pawn that was preventing our bishop from delivering this final checkmate. So if we remove this defender, as you said, Master Luis, it will instantly solve this problem.
Yes.
Very well. We have another puzzle. Also, the theme is removing the defender.
Yes, I see it. Yeah, again, I mean, in a real game, I think even strong players might miss these kind of moves because, well, again, white needs to sacrifice the queen to give a checkmate in two moves, but after queen takes a6 check, which is the only check white has, black has to take the queen, and after rook h5, well, it's checkmate. King g7 is not possible because of the pawn on f6. The bishop is helping the rook because it's defending the rook. So again, candidate moves, remove the defender, bring the king to the square you want the king to be. Like, we can call it in different ways, but basically always calculate the candidate moves, and if you do that, you will find usually the solutions to these kind of puzzles. So yeah, very nice segment. Very beautiful.
For sure. The defender here in this case is the pawn. This pawn is blocking the path, and how beginners can notice this is they have to imagine that if there was no pawn here, how would we deliver a checkmate? Probably would be rook to h5. That would be a checkmate. But how would they be able to do that? They would need to remove the defender first. And once they do that, then the king does not have the g8 square anymore. And then their plan would work.
Yeah. Very nice puzzle.
Very well, very well. Thank you, Luis, for showing it to us. The next one, we have a similar theme, but this time we are attacking the defender. So we need to sometimes remove it, sometimes attack it. This time we are attacking the defender in order to get to win or to get a massive material advantage.
Yes, in this case, well, it's again about candidate moves, I think. First thing we should notice is there is some ping or x-ray between the bishop on c4 and the king on d8. You start calculating the candidate moves, and one of the first moves you have to calculate is rook takes e6. Well, rook takes the bishop, so we eliminate the defender of the knight on d5, or we attack the defender. We can call it in different ways, but basically the point here is that after taking the bishop, if black takes a rook, which could be the natural move, we can take with the bishop, then a knight on d5. We have already won some material, but besides that, we are pinning black's queen, so this is basically game over. Besides, black's king is even weak, but well, basically we are winning a lot of material, and yeah, we are gonna win the game here.
Absolutely. Beautiful tactic.
Okay.
In this one also we have the same theme, which is attacking the defender.
Yes. In this case, I think we use different motifs, but basically some combination of attacking the defender and X-ray. But again, for me, it's always about calculating candidate moves, knowing the typical motifs, as you explained it very well. And in this case, again, one of the first moves I calculate is knight takes e8. I mean, we take the bishop with knight. It's a capture. It seems like we are just trading pieces, but the point is that after rook takes e8, we can take the knight for free because the bishop is not on e8 defending the knight anymore. So now we take a free piece. We still have a very strong attack. We are attacking the rook. Black's king is weak. So yeah, like white is completely winning here. Once again, nice puzzle.
Absolutely.
Very good example of removing the defender. And yeah, knight takes e8 is completely winning for white.
Absolutely. I think people might think that they need to attack this pawn or overload it with the rook somehow, but then they need also to notice what are the immediate captures that they have in mind, and would this actually give them the extra piece that or the extra pawn that they are looking for in order to convert the game.
Okay. Again, I think candidate moves, checks, captures. I would love to play rook e1. That would be checkmate if there was no rook on d1. So I eliminate the rook by playing queen takes d1 check. Yes, bishop takes d1, and now rook e1 is checkmate. Black has no way to escape, and yeah, again, candidate moves, checks, captures. Well, I repeat always saying make a list of candidate moves. In this case, check, only move, and checkmate. Not very difficult once you calculate it, but well, we might miss it as well, we have to sacrifice the queen to deliver this segment.
Absolutely. This is a very nice example, as you said, Master Luis. Moving on to the next one, we also have the same theme here, which is the attacking the defender. How can we win this game?
Well, I think, once again, one of the first moves I think about is taking white's queen, but if I take his queen, the king can take my queen. So first, I play rook d1 check, one of the very few checks I have. So after giving the check with the rook d1 check, white is forced to take with the king, and then we can take white's queen for free. After that, black is winning. Well, white's king is weak. We just won white's queen. Yeah, like it should be game over and not very difficult to win. Now we are gonna keep collecting pawns, giving checks, attacking white's king, and yeah, I mean, again, candidate moves, remove the defender, calculate the moves you have to calculate, and you will find the solution to many positions, and you will find a lot of tactics in your games.
Amazing. This was such a beautiful tactic. For people to consider this move, that is the challenge. Once they start thinking about it, they would know that the king has to capture back, and once that is done, then the queen is gone.
Exactly.
But when they are not considering this protected square, they will always overcomplicate the position. They might think that they need to capture this pawn or they need to capture this bishop. They have like lots of other ideas that might have been carried over from the previous lines or variations that they were calculating in their heads. But once they start thinking outside the box, they would be able to see this beautiful tactic, as you have pointed out, Master Luis. Very well. We are moving on to a different theme now. It's called the Decoy. Let's see how we can apply this theme in this game.
Well, I think here, once again, one of the first moves we have to calculate is queen takes f7 check, and well, it's I think the only check we have. Black is forced, or well, black's logical move is to take our queen, and the point here is we just sacrifice the queen, but the idea is not to give a fork with 95 check. We attack the king and the queen, so we are about to take black's queen, and we have won a full piece as we took a knight on f7. Now black needs to move the king, we'll take the queen, and white is winning here.
Absolutely, it's very nice. So the decoy was the queen almost, and we are also removing the defender who is defending this square. So we're pushing the king into the square of f7, and then we are inducing a fork in this case.
Yeah.
Very well. Beautiful tactic. Moving on to the next one. Also, we have the same theme, which is the decoy. How can we apply it in this position?
Well, here, I think, once again, I always, when I look at some new position, first thing I calculate is checks. Here I see two checks, and in this case, I think both are winning. Rook h8 is winning. Queen takes a6 is also winning, so we can choose the one we find nicer. In this case, I think I would sacrifice the queen because it's more beautiful and it's faster, as this is checkmate in 2 moves, but both moves would be correct. Now, well, we give rook h8 checkmate, and the king can't move because d7 is defended by the pawn f6, d5 is defended by the pawn h4. So again, this is checkmate. We decoy black's king, and yeah, well, this is game over.
Very well. That's really interesting way to put decoy in action. For the new beginners that don't know what a decoy is, basically we need to, it's a combination of, most of chess puzzles involve a combination of elements. Mostly they are removing a piece, attacking the king, or winning some kind of material. In the decoy, we are sacrificing the queen in this case to induce the king to a specific square in order to deliver a checkmate. So the queen is the decoy in this case. And you can, if you always check these moves in every game, you will be able to find these beautiful tactics in everyday's game in such an amazing way, like how Master Luis is showing us in this video today. Next, we have a discovered attack.
Okay. You're helping me a bit because, yeah, well, knowing that, I think it's a bit easier. In any case, first move we have to calculate as usual is the checks. In this case, white has only one check. So bishop takes a 7 check. Black is going to take the bishop, and we can capture black's queen. After that, we will be able to win black's knight on d4 thanks to queen e4 check. But okay, this is the next step. First, we take the queen, and now when black takes a rook, we have queen e4 check, and we'll win the knight on d4. So, yeah, I mean, this is very strong. As
Yes,
usual,
this is a
candidate
combination
moves.
of discovered attack and a fork at the same time. So we are also forking the king and the knight in this case.
Yeah,
I've
very
seen
nice.
like double tactic kind of in one puzzle.
Yes.
Beautiful tactic. Thank you, Louise, for showing the solution to us. Next, we have another puzzle. This is also similar theme.
Yes. Here, as usual, first things first. So I only have one check, which is rook e8 check. I'm gonna lose the rook, but I'm gonna take black's queen. So yeah, it's clear that's the move. And after takes, we take on d5. In this case, yeah, well, white is completely winning. b7 will be weak. I know, like, okay, here of course we take the knight on e3 first, and now black pawns will be a bit weak. We'll activate the rook at some point, but here probably we'll take the pawn on b7 first, attacking black's rook, and later we'll continue. But yeah, this is just completely winning for white.
Very well, very well. Yes, this indeed would end the game, although there's still some work involved, but this pass pawn is very powerful, and this will accelerate the movement of the white. He wouldn't need to spend long time to figure out how to beat these two rocks with the queen and rock due to this pass pawn, and this pawn is lost. Black does not have time to defend this pawn anymore as well. Great tactic. So we are delivering a check. This is a discovered check, a discovered attack to the queen, and after we deliver this one, he has to capture back, and then the queen is lost. From here onward, it's just about converting our material advantage. Very well, very interesting puzzle. Moving on, we have a new theme here for these puzzles, which is called the double attack. Yes. Sometimes it's mixed with a fork, sometimes it's just a pure double attack, so it depends on the situation. What would be the best move for white in this position?
Well, actually, this one is kind of a bit similar to a puzzle we saw a moment ago. In that puzzle, we first won black's queen. Later, we had queen e4 attacking black's king on h7, and in that case was a knight on d4. In this case, we just go queen e4. We are attacking black's bishop on h4 and checkmate on h7. So we are going to win a piece here by playing queen e4. We make a double attack, and yeah, for example, after f5, we can just pick out the bishop on h4, and white is winning here easily. Very nice bishops, no problems. I mean, just finish our development. Black will have to be a bit careful with his king, so yeah, like white should win easily in this position with good play.
Very well. Really interesting puzzle. We are delivering a double attack for the viewers. If a black did not defend, it will be a direct checkmate. He cannot escape with the bishop.
Yeah.
He does not have time to do that. He has to defend the king, and by doing so, he was losing the bishop. So our move is delivering a double attack in this case. Very interesting. Moving on, also similar theme. What can we do in this position?
I think this one is a bit easier because it's more common. Besides, it's a check. I can't repeat more times, and I can't say it like more clear. Always calculate checks. Here I see 3 checks for white, but the best one by far is knight c7 check, because besides just giving a check, we are about to take black's rook on e8, and yeah, this should be winning now that white has an extra rook. So yeah,
This is the most classical fork example.
Completely.
In chess, which is sometimes even when people are playing bullet chess, they kind of miss it. They deliver this check or they deliver this check. And they should always remember when there is like 3 squares difference between the rook and the queen and the king, this can be a very good tactic for them to always keep in mind. Next, we have the theme of these puzzles that are coming up is interception. So we are going to define what interception means by solving these puzzles instead of just defining them.
Well, I think in this case, as usual, we have to calculate the check. So the first check I see is queen h2 check, but I mean it will be checkmate, but it has a problem, which is black cannot go king g8 because the bishop on a2, controlling the g8 square. So queen h2 will be checkmate. The problem with queen h2 is black can take my queen with his queen. That is very far. It's easy to miss it, especially in a bullet game or in a blitz game. So before playing queen h2, I'll place a piece in between the queens. In this case, bishop e5 I think is the most accurate, because by playing bishop e5, I win a tempo against black's queen, I attack his queen, and well, now I can take his queen. And in case he takes my knight, for example, or he plays some other move, I just go queen h2, and I deliver a checkmate as the queen is not defending the h2 square anymore. So yeah, this is very direct, very good play from white. Here, yeah, like again, in this case we can calculate checks. We realize it's almost winning, but it's not winning, so we try to make it work. And in this case, the way to make it work is by playing bishop e5, winning a tempo against black's queen and threatening queen h2 at the same time, which leads to a win for white.
Absolutely. The idea here that black cannot delay capturing the bishop. He cannot just escape with the bishop and think everything is going to be okay because we have intercept the path. This path was the troublesome one that was preventing us from delivering a checkmate. So whenever we see a checkmate in play and something is preventing it, we will need to see, is there any way to remove the defender? We cannot remove the defender like how we have seen before. Then we scan, as you said, Master Luis, we scan, there will be a way for us to block the path of this defender or intercept this defender for us to deliver, to capture the piece or to deliver a checkmate in this case. It's a very interesting tactic. Thank you for featuring us in this video. It's really nice to see these clear elements in a game. Sometimes it's not easy to find them in real games, but if we are checking for these tactics in sequence before playing every move, chances are we may find a good number of them, and with experience and with more people and trying to play these puzzles and practice on these puzzles in cycles, they will be able to get very good results overall.
Yes. The tactical part is a very important one. Okay, in this case, I think white wants to play queen takes h7 checkmate, but there is the bishop on c2 defending, so we have to intercept that. And I think the most accurate way to intercept it is by playing, I think I will go rook e4 probably, rook 1 e4. So I intercept the bishop, and in case black takes my rook, I would have something like, rook g4. Actually, rook h e4 might be even stronger, or I think both are very strong. Or actually, okay, bishop e4 I think is completely winning, because we are threatening mate on h7, and when he takes, we can take with the rook on e4, the rook from e1 joins attack by taking the bishop. We take the bishop with our rook. I think the rook from e1, but actually both are probably winning. The point here is when black takes, black can try this to postpone the checkmate for one more move, but okay, we take the queen, and when black takes a rook, as we brought a new piece to attack, we can play rook g4 check here, and after king h8, which is the only move, we can take black's rook on f8 and deliver checkmate here, which ends the game. In this case, well, this one was a bit trickier, but the key point is, once again, the interception. We want to place a piece in between the bishop on c2 and the pawn on h7. In this particular position, we can place a lot of different pieces, so it's not easy to know which one is the best. But probably bishop e4 is the easiest, as we are not giving up material and we attack h7 with one more piece, so we force black to take our bishop. But in this case, probably also rook 1 e4, or even maybe knight e4, like white has different ways of winning, bishop e4 being the most accurate one, I think.
The quickest, I believe, the quickest compared to what the black can actually respond in this position. But absolutely beautiful tactic, the way that we have kept these two on the same line, and then how we try to remove, to clear up the path and intercept. We add another attacker here. We intercept the path of this bishop, which is the main theme, and the rest, as you said, it's just about different ways of arranging the same thing. But white is clearly winning here. We're going to repeat the moves one more time for the viewers. So black is just delaying the checkmate here. He is counting on the fact that white may not be able to find rook to g4.
Yeah. Right.
But once that is found, it's a completely winning game.
Yes.
Very well. Moving on to a different theme. Here we have a pawn promotion kind of theme. So it's also an attacking theme, but the idea also is to have the pawn promotion in mind. So white here in this position is looking forward to promote this pawn. Sure. And he might need to do some work to do that, or he might try to attack the black pieces while he is threatening this promotion.
Yes. In this case, I think it's very useful to know a pattern that is very common. But well, the move is queen takes c8. I mean, we take black's rook, because after we lose the queen, we can play d7, and the knight is a very bad piece. It's the only piece that, if he's attacked by a pawn on the 7th rank, is not able to defend against the promotion. So now we take the knight promoting, or we just, well, as black move his knight, we just promote. And after this little tactical operation, we won a rook. So yeah, white is winning here, and it should not be very difficult to convert. But the first move, the brilliant temporarily queen sacrifice, is a move that, if you are not used to it, it's very easy to miss. And of course, pushing the pawn directly is much weaker, as black can just move the rook and the pawn is not promoting yet. So we have to sacrifice the queen, and after that, playing d7.
Very well. Yes, this is indeed the most accurate move, as you said, Master Luis. Moving the rook to protect this pawn is very slow, especially that we have a very, very good fast tactic in this position. And that's why when we have a pawn that is very close to the last rank, it would be wise for players to check if they can actually deliver these kind of beautiful sacrifices to gain the momentum of the game, and of course to win in this position.
Yeah, very nice example.
Very well. Moving on. Also, we have the same theme, which is the threatening pawn promotion. What can we do in this position? Unlike the last one, we have the rook and the queen trying to prevent this pawn from promoting.
Yes, in this case, once again, we can sacrifice the queen, and after taking black's rook with queen takes e6, we can push the pawn, and black cannot stop us from promoting. In this case, if he plays king g7, we just promote a queen, and we are a rook up. So yeah, why should win here? The easiest way would be to be able to trade queens, but okay, that's just like, it depends. But yeah, here queen takes e6 is super strong, and after c7, black has no way to avoid white's promotion here.
Absolutely. Really nice way to go about it, and for the players to think outside the box, that they know that this pawn is protected, and black is really worried about it reaching the last rank. So how can we push this further on and prevent the queen from returning back, or the king in time? We capture the rook and we check the king in with this kind of tempo. So black has to capture back, or else the game is already lost because the black rook is gone already.
Yeah.
It's a very nice tactic. Thank you, Luis, for solving it for us.
Okay, in this case, there are not many pieces on the board, so we don't have like a lot of candidate moves. Here, we will have to be accurate till the end, but okay, the first move is rook takes f5. It seems like we are sacrificing the rook, but the point is, after rook takes f5, we pin black's rook by playing bishop d3. And I said we have to be accurate till then, because now, if we just take the rook, that position with perfect play would be a draw. However, we can, instead of taking the rook directly, we can play g4, attacking the rook with the pawn, and now we can take with both bishop and pawn. Both are winning. I think I would take with the pawn, but to be honest, both are completely winning. It's just a matter of taste, or it doesn't matter. I mean, now white's gonna bring the king, and at some point we'll be able to promote, and well, white's winning here.
Taking with the pawn, as you said, Master Luis, is maybe quicker because we are pushing the pawn already one square ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's clear. I need to promote, so the closer the pawn is to promote, the happier I am.
Very well. So this is a pin example. We are checking how pins work. We are pinning the rook to the king, and when the king tries to defend the rook, we add another attacker to the rook, and this way the rook does not have time to escape, and the king at the same time. So the king will try to move forward, and this will signal the end of the game, as you said, Master Louis. We also have a nice spin here in this position. What can we do?
Okay, I think in this case we can just take black's bishop. The idea being, after rook takes e5, queen takes e5, and bishop c3, we pin black's queen, and he has nothing to do. In this case, we'll just take his queen, and yeah, this position should be winning. Once again, we had to be just slightly careful, maybe to not miss the background checkmate at some point or something like that. But here, I think I would go probably. Well, I'm not sure. Like queen c3 check seems like winning.
There
Queen
are
c7 check seems like winning.
Different ways to go about it, as you said. This
probably queen 7 is the
this is the most strongest. We are also in a way pinning this rook to this pawn, and that's why it's extra. Well, once this rook tries to move away, I think if it tries to move away to deliver here a checkmate, we can just push the pawn, and this pawn is still a problem. So it's very slow to try to push it further on to deliver this checkmate here. And this pawn cannot be defended at the moment. Especially now we are also checking the king, so we are getting it with some kind of tempo. So the moment the king moves, we're moving the pawn, and then the rook is just glued to this pawn. And now the king can just mobilize very quickly and to win this position. Very nice tactic. This is also a perfect example of how we can pin pieces. We also have the element of sacrifices in most of these puzzles. Sometimes it's not so easy to see a tactic you won't be presented, I mean, in a real game with just a one move kind of tactic. Always checking for sacrifices gives us this kind of edge, because our opponent may not have calculated this line or variation as you have pointed out, Luis,
Yes.
for us. Very nice puzzle.
Okay, this one is easier
Amazing
than the last ones, I think. In this case, I would take the pawn h7, which is a check. So the king has to move, and as the king has no the square, in this case we just we take black queen.
We capture.
And now we are queen up, we are attacking the pawn c6, we are attacking the pawn d6. Black's king is weak, so yeah. Now there is no
very much over.
No
This
problem.
this is an X-ray attack, which is basically it's also a check, and some kind of elements of fork has inside it. But the X-ray attack is basically what attacking the queen through the king. In this case,
yeah,
that's how players need to check it out. And here we have our last puzzle, which is also another X-ray attack. What can we do in this position?
Well, I see, but I think this one is not that easy to miss, but okay. Queen g8 check. Seems like winning for white. Queen g8. So we give a check and we'll take the queen on b3 on the next move, and white is completely winning here. Black's pawn on b2 is gonna fall, so yeah.
Very well, very well. Can you give us one extra move to see how players can get the maximum potential out of this position?
Well, I think there are different moves that win, but I would go queen f6 probably, trying to pin the knight on e6.
That works. That definitely
queen
works.
e5
there is also e5, which is very similar to e6, also preventing the king from turning back. This would be also one. These two squares are very good. Here, the puzzle engine cannot take two variations into account. It can only take one variation. But as you said, these two squares are the most accurate two squares for the queen to finish up the game as fast as possible. Here in this case, black cannot return back to the king side, and we are delivering a checkmate very soon once we promote one of these 3 pawns. Very nice. So in this nice course, we have checked lots of different themes of tactical motives, from removing the defenders to attacking the defenders to decoy, discovered attacks, double checks, force, interceptions, pawn promotions, spins, X-ray attacks, sacrifices, and so much more of these elements that we have to scan every time when we are playing a chess game. It's very nice that we have seen these elements over the last 3 videos. We have solved in the first 2 parts around 40 puzzles from various games. The majority of them are from Master Luis's games. And in this last part, we did a quick summary of these elements for people who would like to go back to the first 2 parts and rewatch them and try to solve these puzzles live with us. This will help them to reinforce the concepts in order to master these tactical elements and for them to become like second nature to them. The idea is to take a group of puzzles and solve them over and over again until these patterns become subconscious patterns in the brain, so we can see them easily when we are playing a real game. How many puzzles do you recommend, Master Luis, for beginners to solve, if they have the time, of course, on a daily basis? We are talking about players below the rating of 2000s here.
Well, that's a good question, actually, but I would say learning patterns is one of the most important things to do when you are kind of starting. I mean, below 2000 is still very, very different if you are 1200 than you are, 1900, but solving tactical exercises is very useful. You have to learn the patterns, you have to practice them, you have to know them very well. About how many puzzles, I'm not sure. It depends, of the person, of how difficult they are, but I would say ideally around maybe 10, 15. It depends how much time like everybody has, even like 20, but also like it depends how much time you are taking for each puzzle. It's the same. I mean, it's not done the same if you take a few seconds as I took in these puzzles for every move, or you need to think, you need to calculate all the moves, you do a list, all this kind of things. So it depends a bit, but I'll just say tacticals are super important. Everybody should practice every day. Even strong players still miss tactics, so please be very careful with that. And always calculate checks, captures, and the other candidate moves we already talked about.
Absolutely. This is very good advice, Master Luis. Thank you for sharing it with us. Basically, for beginners, as you said, it depends on how much time they have, but the more they solve, the better, of course. If they can get around 10 to 15 puzzles, as you have recommended every day, this will be a very good way to get in touch in the game. And right now, while most players having smartphones, solving 10 puzzles per day is not a difficult task. They may take a break from work, or maybe if they are in school, they can still, after school, they can still solve a few of these puzzles. It will help energize their brain, and it will boost their chess rating as well, especially when they have these tactical elements in mind. We would like to remind our viewers that they can visit our website at boldchess.com, and we have a complete chess academy in place that has everything you need to master the game. All the studies have been prepared by our team and the international master Luis, who is with us today on the call. This course covers the basics and games, tactical motives, positional motives, openings for white and black. And we also have a study plan and a thought process that Master Luis prepared for us over the past weeks. And these two are very important for people to know how they need to study and how they need to think about every single position when they are playing a game. If you are interested in joining our academy, visit us at boldchess.com, and we will see you soon in the next video. Till then, I wish you a great day ahead as well, Master Luis. Special thanks for your time to be with us on the call and for showcasing all the moves for us.
Well, it was a very big pleasure. I mean, it's always good to do a bit of tactics, and I hope our viewers manage to learn a lot. And before I already gave the solution, they pause the video and they try to guess themselves to maximize the improvement by solving these puzzles with us. Yeah, thanks a lot for inviting me here.
Thank you so much, Master Luis. We will see you soon, hopefully next week. Till next time.
Thank you.
All the best.